Hey everyone, this is June because I was born in June. Welcome to my amazing entrepreneur story today. So today it's my honor to have Bob right here with me. And congratulations, Bob, on getting the award for 𝗏𝗏𝗃. I'm so excited for you.
Woo, yeah. I'm excited too, yes.
So can you, I will just briefly tell you guys what Bob does. So Bob has been making his online as a full-time business for the past 15 years, and you guys couldn't believe it. He has so much to share about his story. His backstory is going to wow you guys. So remember to stay tuned to the end. And right now, Bob is helping people to do the same so that they are able to transform their life. And like Bob is really helping people to make like a laptop lifestyle right now. So back to Bob. Bob, which city you're from?
I am from Delray Beach, Florida. It's about 80 degrees here right now. I'm 2 blocks from the beach. One of the reasons that I live here is so I can go up and surf every day.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, one thing remind me of Florida is Disneyland.
Yeah. Some people think that's all we do here. How do you get any work done when don't just go to Disney World every day?
Okay, congrats for getting a 2CC award. But then I want to know, like, what was the feeling when you received the email said that you got approved for the application?
Well, yeah, I was excited. The biggest thing it meant to me, I mean, there's a little bit of a pat on the back. Yeah. And I have to give a shout out to my wife who's in the other room, because she works with me and she is an excellent marketer. She's and a strategist. She's really good. So she is definitely responsible as much as I am for this. But the biggest thing was that, little tip, everybody, it's a leverage point. And I did a post recently on leverage, and that's how you work your way up. You leverage your way up. You just start with something. You just get a toehold with something. You get something going, and you go, oh, now how can I turn that into something else, And so for me, I just go, okay, here's another leverage point.
That's awesome. So, but then people just can see your results right now. Like, okay, can you tell us a little bit about your backstory, how you get started? Like, is it you're always that successful? Like, what kind of stories and what things that you have tried before? Can you share with us?
I don't think we have enough time for me to go through everything I've tried. Oh no, I was just an instant success overnight. First thing, my story, if I go into detail, I'm going to make people cry. So I'm not going to go too into detail, but, started off as a musician and, thought I was going to make my living as a musician. Turned out, I spent most of that time working as a waiter and bartending and everything. So I went on to, what else did I do? I'm a martial artist. So I worked as a martial arts instructor. Hard to make a living. Yeah, I ended up I had one of my martial arts schools was an old grimy warehouse, really, in a storage facility. I ended up living inside of it for a year.
For 1 year?
1 year, yeah.
It's not the warehouse, right? You told me about. Is it the same warehouse?
Yes.
Oh, wow. For 1 year.
For a year. I slept on wrestling mats, those kick shields that they use, when you're training. That was my pillow. I had no bed, no couch, no refrigerator, no television, nothing. I sat there at my desk every day, just reading and, so it was, I have hit the lowest points. I lived in my car for 2 weeks. So, a lot. So, I eventually got out of there and I worked as a programmer for a little bit.
Wow. And, programming?
Yeah, Oracle programming.
Wow. Awesome.
So, but even, like I say, if anybody out there is going, hey, things just aren't working, trust me, things didn't work for me. When I started into programming, about 6 months later, the field that I was in died. There were no jobs for years. So, so things, you can seem like nothing's going to work until you do the right thing. And for me, online marketing was the right thing. I'm also a doctor of Oriental medicine, acupuncturist, and, I practice Chinese herbs and stuff.
When I read
So
about your
that's,
story, right, I was like,
yeah,
what things that Bob didn't know? Like, you even know about traditional Chinese medicine.
yes, TCM.
Yeah. And then next?
So anyways, when I was doing Chinese medicine, it turned out I didn't enjoy that either. After I went through all my schooling, got licensed, everything, my first week in the clinic, I'm not digging this. I don't like this. I'm dealing with sick people all the time, and trying to convince them I can help them, that type of stuff. So what really led me, and I've got, I worked as a DJ, all sorts of stuff, and nothing worked. I always had this dream that, of working for myself, working from a computer when computers actually came into existence. But I thought that was a pipe dream. I thought only other people could do that, like really, really lucky people. So I didn't even try for a long time. And then I was out at a coffee shop with my parents one day, a Barnes and Noble, and I picked up.
Oh, you still have the book?
I still have the book. Yep.
Oh my God, nice.
Yeah, multiple, and this was, at least 15 years ago. So Multiple Streams of Internet Income by Robert Allen. And he told this fascinating story of, he was at a friend's house, and the friend had a mailing list. Back then, I didn't know what a mailing list was. Most people didn't know what a mailing list. It wasn't really a thing. And Allen had written a previous book, and the guy was telling him about email lists and how you could do that. And I was like, no, you can't make money like that. He said, watch this. Give me a discounted price on your book. And I was like, okay. So he typed out to his list. He typed out, hey gang, I got Robert Allen here with me right now. And for the next 30 minutes, he's going to give you 40% off of his book, whatever the book was. Send. And within 30 minutes, they had made several $100s.
Wow. That's really awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Allen was blown away by that. So I was blown away by that. And so you can jump here anytime, dude. If I start boring you, let me know. But
no, it's really interesting. Yeah, go on.
Okay, so, and yeah, maybe this helps people who are going, is this even possible to be able to do this? So I went from that. So I thought, let me try something. So I didn't know what else to do. So I created an ebook cover, and I put it of how to, basically how to teach kids make money teaching martial arts, because I knew martial arts, right? Okay. So I put that on eBay for sale, my ebook. The ebook didn't exist. I never even wrote it.
Is there any contents in the ebook, or just like the cover?
No, the cover. I had no idea what I was going to put in it.
Oh my God.
I just wanted some proof that I could make money online. And a couple of days later, somebody tried to buy the book for $30.
So that guy paid for $30? Did he pay?
I canceled the order, and you're not supposed to do that anymore. But it gave me proof that I knew that I could write that book. I knew I could write it probably in a week. And if I wrote that book, I would have made $30.
Yes.
Yeah, an ebook. So this is so it just gave me evidence. You may have heard this concept before. To take action, you have to have certainty your action is going to have results, right? If you don't have certainty, then you just take small action. You don't not really go all in. So you get small results. And so you have less certainty, and it just, it doesn't work. So that was early giving me certainty that I could make some money online.
That was like a boost in confidence, because I can totally feel you. Like, you just put up a cover, and then someone tried to buy. If let's say you have written it, you have actually get your first $30. But I'm sure that that's the beginning part, right? And then what takes you to the next step?
Okay, so the next step, what was the next step? I tried a couple of things, maybe a couple of shady things. I was young, and nothing was working. Then I created a website. Since I knew Chinese medicine, I created a website I don't know if you ever heard of SiteSell. They used to be a big deal. They were one of the early, all-in-one programs. Here's how a platform you can make your site with, and here's the strategies, maybe predating Russell Brunson. And he taught you keywords, keyword research and SEO and everything. Yeah. And the sites, it was a pretty cheesy looking site. But I created a website there on Chinese medicine with my thoughts were that I would tell people about different herbal formulas that they could use, just ones you can buy off the shelf in any Chinatown, or I can order and send to them. But I realized that after I did it, I built out a 70-page website. It was tons of content. And I realized I'm only gonna make about $3 to $5 when I sell a bottle of herbs.
Okay.
And it was not thought out right. I wouldn't make enough money. I did write an ebook on how to, on life extension, health preservation using Chinese medicine principles. And, but I sold for like $30 and I was actually making some sales of that, which was nice. For some people that might be good. For me, it was like, this is not enough, but it gave me a little more certainty that I could work, I could make money.
So your making money online is always tagging based on the experience and passion that you think you have, right? So starting from the martial arts, and then later on you have like a TCM, the traditional Chinese medicine. And then what is the next thing? Like all this experience,
Okay, the next step was I went back to martial arts. Let me make some money with martial arts. Now, a little caveat, all of you listeners, I don't believe that you have to make money with your passion. I think that whole idea that you have to follow your passion is BS. I think it can take you down the wrong avenue, and I think it can actually make you dislike your passion because your passion becomes work. So you can get passionate about anything if you're making money. So I just want to share that. But what I did was then I thought I'll make money by teaching martial arts online. And I was one of the early people to be doing a submission wrestling. Are you familiar with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, mixed martial arts?
I'm not familiar, but then I heard about the submissions martial art, right? You mentioned about.
Yeah. So
how does it work?
It's like wrestling, except you win by choking the person or arm barring them or leg locking or dismembering them in some other way.
Okay.
So I thought I was one of the early people to do that back in the early 90s, early people in this country. There's some people before me that I learned from, but there weren't many. And it was becoming popular. So I thought, well, let me create a database of techniques for people, And so I tried to get somebody that I could film to demonstrate these techniques on. So I was having trouble getting somebody consistently, and I wanted to make it this big database, and I couldn't get anybody to devote all their time to me for free just to let me film with them. So I had this brilliant idea of let me buy a wrestling dummy and film using the wrestling dummy.
Okay. So did you get how many videos you have produced from there?
Well, that changed quickly. I realized that filming with the wrestling dummy didn't look so good, but this particular wrestling dummy that I found was really good. I thought this dummy is good. Nobody's selling it. The manufacturer isn't selling this. He's not marketing it very well. And ding, ding, ding. I could probably sell this.
Oh my God.
They didn't know how to market it. Yeah, it was just on their website. It was in a catalog, but they weren't marketing it. And in my opinion, it was the best dummy available. So I called them up and I said, hey, if I can sell these, will you ship them for me? And this, listeners, pay attention to this because I've done this over and over and over. And I've made a lot of money doing this. So we don't have to do things the way everybody else does. So I called them up and they said, yeah. And I said, give me a price to ship it anywhere in the country. They said $300, something like that. I just tacked on $200 and I didn't know anything about making websites, nothing. ClickFunnels didn't exist. This was way back. So I filmed some videos in my garage one night. I put them on YouTube. And a couple of days later, I got somebody calling me. I was driving down the street. Somebody's calling me and, hey, can you sell that? Yeah, I can sell you one. He found it on YouTube with my phone number listed there. And I pulled out pencil and paper out of the glove compartment, wrote his credit card number down and went home, processed it and made, had $200 profit in my pocket. A couple nights later, I was out exercising out in my garage. I came in, I had built out a bad website. I came in and I had earned actually $250. I had earned $500 while I was exercising. Went, holy cow, this is, I can make money. So I used that opportunity. So I started making money with that. Now that was many years ago. That market is flooded now based on all the marketing I did. Everybody else went and competed with me. So it's not the best market in the world, but at the time, it was an opportunity. And this is why I talk about leverage. Because I started making a little bit of money, I was able to stop doing my other work so much and devote a little bit of time to this business. And I used that opportunity to study like crazy, learn Google AdWords, read every book by, what's his name, Perry Marshall I could find, just everything I could get my hands on, because I got an opportunity to go, I could actually make a career online. So let me dive in really hard. And so that kind of started everything for me there.
Oh my God, that is a really one of the most fantastic story I've heard, because a lot of I believe that a lot of listeners or a lot of friends watching this, they always think that they see someone who is so successful right now, but then without knowing what kind of hardship they've gone through, like you actually stay in a warehouse for an entire year, and then you try a lot of different stuff. Some work, but then based on what I heard, mostly are working for you. And then we really started very hard. We put in a lot of hard work until we only start to see the success and results. Like if let's say anyone who is watching this, you should be inspired by Bob's story. Like this is like really taking the online internet. It's really opened even my eyes. So that is the drop shipping that you're referring to, right? When you're selling the dummies.
No, I actually went into the drop shipping, the whole, that was a drop ship product. So that's a good point. Keep in mind that drop shipping is not just getting things from AliExpress and shipping them out. You can be creative. I did the same thing I did with that dummy. I did it with another product, actually 2 more products. And I looked no further than that manufacturer where I found that first product. I looked no further than in their catalog. And I found 2 other products, and I thought, yeah, I could sell these. One of them is pretty interesting. I took a punching bag they sold, and one of those, they're bounce back punching bags. They're like the clown bag that we had when we were kids, the one that you punch, it goes boing, boing, like that. Except it's a professional version of it. There's no clown on it. But they weren't selling them very well. And I looked at it and I thought, how can I sell this? And so what I did was I created a different use for it.
Okay.
So instead of using it like a boxing bag, well, you'd hit it and it'll go all the way down to the ground like this. And remember, I said I was doing wrestling, submission wrestling. So I taught people how to work with it, take it to the ground, and then use it, train ground things, submission ground, and then get off it and it pumps back up and then go back to boxing and knock it down. And so I said, it's perfect for that type of fighting, right?
Okay.
And so I created a different use for it, and I gave it a unique name. I called it the smart bag.
Oh, so you actually take you invent a usage for the product and then you put a name on it. Wow, that's really amazing. That's really smart.
And what I did, here's another tip that I've never heard anybody mention this before. But when you find a product like that that's underserved or just exists in a catalog somewhere, somebody's online catalog, what they do is they devote one little page to it, right? Maybe a picture and a few words about it. So I went and I took that product, I created a entire website about that one product. And of course, I'm going to rise to the top of the search engines because I made a big deal about a product that they're only putting in a catalog. And I did that with a third product of theirs, another bag, another piece of training equipment. I made a video and an entire web page and a couple of pages about a training, and I sold those like crazy. So just by grabbing something that somebody that is underserved, which is if you find any online catalog from some company, probably all they do is a little blurb about the product, you blow it up and you're going to come out ahead of them at the search engines.
So I see that you're very good at leveraging as well as taking opportunities as they come. So can we know, like, if let's say there is a number one advice that you want to give to our listeners and our friends out there, what kind of advice will you give? Just one.
One. That is difficult. Along the lines of leveraging, it would be to just get started. Get started. And here's something, leverage the people you know. For example, anybody who's listening here, right now, June and me, right? If there's a chance we are ahead of you, leverage that relationship. If nothing other than just a quick phone call or, drop a message or something, say, hey, what do you think about this? Develop a relationship, leverage your relationships. I've heard some of the most successful people in the world say the same thing, and I've experienced this. The people who are around us, who are closest to us, they can't learn from you, right? They don't, they don't leverage the relationship. So, just be looking who can I talk to, and what can I get a toehold? What can I do just to get started? Because that gives you momentum, and that momentum is just going to push you forward more and more and more.
15 years ago, just rewind back 15 years ago, would you think that you will be you right now?
No way. No way.
No way, right? So whoever is watching this, remember this. Your right now can be Bob 15 years ago. Can I say that?
Yeah.
That is really, really fantastic story you have. So Bob, can you tell us how about you? What kind of people that you help right now?
What I do is a little bit different than what I'm seeing most other people doing. And I do things that go contrary to everybody's advice. And so what I do is I put myself out there. I'm showing people that, hey, I do have a lot of experience. I've sold, I've sold physical products, digital products, affiliate products, drop ship products. I've created an app and sold $300,000 worth of an app. I did a launch where I did $30,000 in 48 hours. So,
wow. How did you do that? Seriously, you missed that part in our story.
Yeah, I've got the app actually. Yeah, I did 300K with that app. How did I do that launch?
Yeah.
Okay, so I created a product. The product was that initial product, the database I wanted to make. Well, I ended up going back and making that, and I created an app. All right, and I just did a typical launch strategy where I was building up a list. I had a list of people who had bought those wrestling dummies from me, right? A lot of buyers. And so I did a launch strategy to them. I worked them up, got them very excited about this thing. If you research launches, you'll learn how to do launches, right? So we got them very excited about it. And that day that when we said, hey, it's going to go live tomorrow at noon. Okay, here's live. And we weren't really expecting much of anything. And I actually ran out to the grocery store, and my wife calls me and goes, Bob, we just had a sale. 30 seconds later, called back, Bob, we had another sale. We're, holy cow. And every time we refreshed the browser, we were getting sales. Now we launched for $97. So we sold like 300 of them, I guess, over 300.
Oh,
and every time we refresh the browser, more. So I've got lots of experiences like that, just crazy stuff. So what I do, instead of saying, here, I help people who make $2,000 to $5,000, scale up to $10,000 a month, the typical things you hear, I can do more than that. I've experienced more than that. So I prefer just to put out there that, hey, everybody, I've experienced a lot. I've done a lot of things. I've spent, one mentor, $10,000 with one mentor, tons and tons of money on mentors and everything. So these have been my experiences. I've done all of these things. Let's talk. If no matter where you're at, whether you're very successful or whether you're just starting, because each person, that idea that we're going to do the same thing for every person, or let's say, if I was to promote an affiliate product, right? Maybe Legendary or something. Okay, everybody I know, you should do Legendary. No, right? Or, hey, everybody, you should be, you should go into video marketing. Well, some people won't get on camera, right? We all have different attributes, different personality traits, different skills, desires. So what I'd rather do is listen to each person and get a feel for where they're at, where they want to be, and then go from there and go, okay, let's decide. Maybe you should go into email marketing because you're never going to do video, right? or maybe you have a skill, you should be a coach. Or you've got absolutely nothing, you should be selling somebody else's affiliate product.
Yeah.
Perfect for you, right? So that's what I try to do. So now, again, that's not common because people say focus on one thing. But if I'm focusing on one thing, I'm not helping the most people.
So
Right?
what you do is that you base on the attributes of the person and also their personality style, you kind of like give them recommendation and suggestions and direct them to the right path that it's easiest for them. Can I sum that up?
Yes. I mean, maybe it's working. Maybe I coach them. Maybe I just give them some advice and send them on their way. Maybe I work with them. Maybe I partner with them. Maybe I recommend another course or another coach for them. So
So
that's how I approach things.
anyone out there, if let's say you're listening and watching right now, this is definitely a lot of golden nuggets that Bob has given us and have shared with us. We are so happy to have you here for this episode today. So Bob, one last thing. How do the listeners and our friends out there should reach out to you?
Well, write it on $100 bill. I would say probably the easiest way is just friend me on Facebook and send me a message.
Sure.
And if I don't accept your friend request, then just send me the message anyways, and I'll get it and I'll turn around and friend you because I don't accept everybody's friend requests. You know,
yeah.
So
guys, remember, if let's say you want to friend request Bob, make sure you have a clear profile picture in it, right? Okay. So, and also do send Bob a message, and he is a really fantastic guy to work with. I know that you guys are going to learn so much more from him, even like sending a message or to just talk to him personally. So thank you, Bob, so much for being in our show today.
Thank you, June. You are awesome.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.